Well, we are back. It's Sherri Johnson with the Sherri Johnson Show, and I am so excited. I've got a fabulous guest today. I am just so pumped. Listen, if you're listening to this right now, you're in for a treat. We're going to give so much amazing content to you. I've got my very good friend, Steve Robertson from Austin, Texas, on the line. Steve sells Austin. Welcome, Steve. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Sherri. Thanks for having me.
I am just so amazed that the world is amazing. We met almost a year ago in, I think it was Cabo, Mexico. And immediately, and I'm going to start just before I have you tell a little bit about your story. I have I want you to tell everybody about this poker chip business card. It's so awesome. It's magnetic. I love it. I met Steve at a trip at a mastermind in Cabo. Unbelievable 5-day event. I don't know, maybe it was longer. Steve, tell everyone how long you've been in the business, a little bit of history, like how many houses you sell. I know it's like 100 million in total sales for your career, which is absolutely amazing. You are a solo agent, and just tell everybody like what's the key been for your success over the years?
Well, thank you again for having me. So, I moved to Austin, Texas from San Diego in 2006. I got my real estate license in 2007. I got my broker's license in 2011. I have been high energy, high enthusiasm, fired up on this career path for 20 years in July of this coming year. So it's been 19 and a half years.
Wow.
I'm the quintessential sort of extrovert people person. I genuinely enjoy helping people, which sounds a little cliche, but I think it's all about sort of where your head and your heart are at. This business is not transactional. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. I wish someone would have shared these things with me when I started. Oh my goodness. You are building a business as a real estate agent. This is not a one and done kind of a thing. Of course, it feels wonderful to get that first wire transfer for 10 or 12 grand or 20 or 5 grand, whatever the case may be. You're building relationships. So I've been at this a long time. I love doing these podcasts. I love collaborating. I love contributing. And this is one of the things that sort of fills my bucket is doing these podcasts. So
Oh, and I your energy and passion are contagious. That's what I know. Right when I met you, I was like, "Oh my god, this guy has your it's infectious." And so I think when people meet you, it's obvious they want to do business with you. And thank you for saying that we are in a relationship business. It is not transactional, guys. Stop looking at this as a one and done. You said it. It's like, oh my gosh, so much. So you've probably built an amazing career on referrals, I'm guessing. Sphere
yes,
in referrals. How much would you say, do you know the percentage of business you get from repeat clients or referrals? Is it
it's north of 60%.
there you
And
go.
so people, I'm getting solicited all the time after 2 decades in this business, how can we help you build your lead funnel and which CRM are you using? And do you want more leads? And do you want to pay for those leads? And I'm thinking maybe I'm the only one who's still standing, especially after the last 2 years in real estate in the United States of America. But I'm certainly not going to pay for leads. I'm a fan of civic, social, and charitable activities. I am a fan of all of the touch points that I use every year. Farming is just one of them, and we can go into that in detail today. But I'm just all about building those relationships. I can't tell you how many people that I've met could have started from a lease, could have started from me passing out one of these poker chips at a gas station, literally,
I
and
love
then
it.
I get a text 3 months later, and I'm going on a listing appointment. Then I help them sell a home. Then I help them buy another home. Then I
Right.
help their adult son with a lease, and then it's because I've stayed top of mind with those clients. They know me, they like me, they trust me, and they can see where my heart is, and they can see that I'm genuine and sincere in wanting to help them. It's not always about the dollars and cents. Sometimes we do things and maybe even take a loss, but it's all about maintaining that relationship.
And I love, my entire coaching program. There's not one course that says go buy leads. I just don't teach it. And we don't have to do that. You have, the CRM is really a continuous referral machine.
Ooh, I
If
like
people
that.
would just look at it that way. I know I coined that. I think it's funny. I hope it takes off. There are ways to do the business. You just mentioned farming, and one of the things that I know we're going to have you talk about today is how you have a farming system that generates six figures. And that is not just in 1 year, that is potentially can be an agent's solution for generating six figures in a month. I am a huge advocate of, I call it micro farming in Sherry Johnson land. You have a farming system, and I want to repeat this, that generates six figures. And if you're listening to this and you take Steve's advice and you implement and put into action what he's about to share with you, you can generate six figures in a quarter. You can generate six figures in 1 month. So I'm going to let you share this strategy. I know you have a giveaway that you'll give at the end that we can drop in the link here that people can get the information on how to do this. But tell us about this. How did it come about? Obviously, you probably did it yourself. And now you've got this system. How does it work?
Well, so let's take a 50,000-foot view. I love metaphors. I mean, I started farming a particular community where I lived in West Austin about 12 years ago. The community is called Rocky Creek.
Okay.
There are roughly 400 homes in Rocky Creek. It has a boutique feel, and that's where I lived. And I would be out walking the dogs, and I was doing a little bit of business there, but I noticed there was not any consistency when I would see open house signs, when I would see just listed signs. There was a lot of variety in terms of who was working the community. And so I started with a postcard and I introduced myself to the entire neighborhood. And then I would send a letter, and then I would send a handwritten card to neighbors that I met while I was out walking my dog.
Nice.
And then of course that led to listings and open houses. And then I really fine tuned my 12-month farming blueprint, which of course I'm happy to share with everyone today. So I love to start the farm in the spring. I love to think of my farm as literally a plot of land. Men of course are very visual. I love my metaphors. So if you can imagine 10 acres of land, you are literally investing all of your sort of heart and soul, time and energy in this plot of fertile soil, and you are going to absolutely be yielding fruit from this land. And so the moral of the story is to stay top of mind with your audience, to plant seeds in that soil, to till, fertilize, water, get lots of sunlight on, and then yield the fruit, ideally in the springtime of the coming year. So farming is not a one and done thing. You're going to need a year to 18 months. Sometimes things will fall in your lap a little quicker. Sometimes it takes a little longer. But the point is consistency pays. And of course, persistence is key as well. So the way that this looks, and you'll see this in my 12-month farming blueprint, is some sort of an introductory letter. Hi, my name's Steve Robertson. I am the neighborhood real estate expert. I live right up the street. I have a proven track record. I'm here to help. I just wanted you to know I'm down the road, and I'm here to get you the most lucrative sale in the least amount of time for your home, whatever you want to introduce yourself. Then it's time to bring the value. Super important to separate yourself from other agents. And this leads me to one other topic super quickly. Forget about what other agents are doing in your farm or your community. What they're doing has nothing to do with you. Your superpower is that there is only one of you.
Mm,
So only one of you. So forget about the incumbent person. Lose the limiting beliefs. You're going to crush it. So introduce yourself, then send out a postcard that brings the value. Something like this. When you can see, I love to have
yes.
statistics on my postcards. This is a postcard that doesn't say, "Hi, I'm Steve. I just sold the house down the street." That'll go to the local landfill. Nice effort. Not necessarily the most efficient use of $400, because on average, when I mail these out to 400 homes, it's around $400, about $1 a card. And you can use a fulfillment house to do these cards. I like to use the card that has infographics on it. People are visual. They're going to eat the information with their eyes. This is a postcard that will go in the kitchen drawer. It will not get thrown away. And then
I love it.
when it comes time to list and sell a home, you want to be that person that they think of. Hey, honey, look in the kitchen junk drawer. Where was the postcard from Steve? Yada, yada.
I love this, and I didn't know that that was your former company, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Who
Yeah, yeah.
who I know him very well. That's so cool. Let me see that picture of you again. That's awesome. There's a really like, is that you? That's you on the back.
That is me. That's
Love
funny.
it.
Oh my gosh,
I
yeah, that's all.
and what I'm
Oh,
reading is the message you wrote on the back is as cool. Like as your
yeah,
expert.
as your neighborhood here, I'm gonna put my glasses
Yeah.
on real quick. As your
And it
neighborhood
was
and
it was
as your neighbor and a resident, I have specific property knowledge that translates into a quicker and more lucrative sale. I'm right up the street and I'm here to help.
love
Yep.
it.
And
And
that's rip off and duplicate people.
what I want everyone to what I want to reinforce what you said is that, first of all, the infographics is a shelf life keeper. They're going to keep that. You said it goes in the kitchen drawer. It's good data. They keep it, and you're right. They say, "Where's that card of that guy that sent the thing that we had? That the thing." So yes, okay, go on. So that's
Okay.
something that goes out after the intro.
After the
This is
intro,
the
by the way,
value.
the intro can look something like this. This is more current. You'll notice it says EXP on
Nice.
it. And I'll share I'll share all of this stuff digitally.
It's
And
great.
then you have an incredible opportunity to host a civic, social, or a charitable event potentially in the neighborhood. One of my favorite things, and again, this is just me, I don't know where you are in the United States of America, but I host an event called Pups and Pints. I do this twice per year. I pay the photographer. I have two professional photographers that come
Mm,
to a local brewery. I cover the cost of a pint of beer for you. You bring your four-legged furry friend. You get a professional photo with your dog. I pay for the pint of beer. And it's just an excuse. It's just a friendly, no agenda reason to bring people together. Everyone loves it. We do this in March and then again in October. It's been a huge success. No agenda. Just, hi, my name's Steve. I love dogs. You love dogs. Grab a pint of beer or water, whatever you're into. Go over
yeah.
there and meet my photographer. We use a jot form. So I get your email address and then that's it. And then I'm going to email you a professional photo with you and your dog. And you, I mean, literally. And it's a wonderful way to connect the dots with the people in that community that you're farming to stay on point here, to stay on topic.
Pups and pints. I love this. What a
Yeah.
great idea. And who doesn't want a picture with their dog? Now, do they take the dog at the brewery? Like you take the pictures
Oh, yeah.
there?
1000%. Yeah, we set up a little photo area. There's barrels and sometimes there's a bale of hay and there's a whole backdrop. And then I pay the photographer kind of on the side a couple $100 for, all
Yes.
in. It's about $500 for me to host this thing.
Nothing.
Maybe, I mean, and we've had as many as 65, 70 people show up. So it's really, really fun. And I love dogs. And so it's a great excuse
That's
to bring.
awesome. And Steve, do you invite this farm to that event?
Yes.
Okay. So they get an invite.
Yeah, that's via the Facebook page, the community Facebook page, and yet another
Nice.
touch point. So if you have the
I,
benefit of living in the community that you're farming, and you've got to tread lightly with this stuff, guys, because you don't want the administrator of that page you don't want to be shoving homes down people's throats. You want to approach with kid gloves. But I'm hosting a fun event, has nothing to do with real estate, and it's at a local brewery. Bring your dog. We'd love to see you there. For neighbors, friends, and neighbors.
I don't often hear agents, those things are like mutually exclusive usually. I like that you tied them together and you're inviting that neighborhood farm to an event in the community, supporting the community and doing something give back. It's so cool. I love it.
Yeah,
Good ROI
1000.
there. Okay.
Yes.
So then what?
Well, so after that, you are going to meet those neighbors. You're going to follow up with more things in the mail for these people. A couple tips and tricks and things just popped into my mind. Little bullet points in terms of best practices with mailers. Use actual postage. Do not run your licked and sticked and stuffed envelopes through a postage meter. It screams junk. Go to the post office, take one of your kiddos. It's actually kind of fun. Look through the stamp books, spend $350 on the stamps. And then when you get home, you've got to actually put real postage on anything like this, these kind of little touch points. It gets your mail opened. You want to get a stamp, and I have mine here. You want to get a stamp with your return address on it. This will save you a ton of time. You can put your logo there if you'd like, however you want to keep it professional, and it's a big time saver. Mailing out these letters, guys, this is probably my least favorite thing to do in terms of my 6 touch points per year. If we stick to my 12-month blueprint, it takes a lot of time, I'm not going to lie. But when you get that call in the middle of summer or in April or May, and you're somewhere with your feet in the sand, ideally, and someone says, we got your letter in the mail, we'd like you to come by and share with us your thoughts on the value of our house, you're going to be doing cartwheels, you're going to be punching the air, you're going to be so excited because this one letter that you just mailed out just potentially got you $20,000. It's a big deal. Farming works. You've just got to be persistent and consistent. Follow the blueprint. Don't overthink it. Get out of your own way, and then and start yielding fruit. It's amazing how
Such
well this.
great advice. And, it does work and it takes a little bit of time and that the payoff is huge. I can attest to that. So it's 6 touch points a year. You're
6
doing
touch
every,
points per year, and consistently, to put things in perspective, in Rocky Creek, in this one community, Sherri, I have listed and sold 2 to 3 houses every year for the last 10 years in this one neighborhood. So that's 55 to 70 grand in sort of predictable, consistent income, and business leads to business. So someone calls me, they say, please come look at our home. Tell us what you think the plan should be for the spring. I win the listing.
yeah,
I show up, I do the job. Then I'm holding the home open.
right.
Then the people who are coming into the neighborhood who've already received all of my mail. So this is when some synergy and momentum really gets going. Now all the neighbors are seeing my handsome face on the open house signs. They've got my poker chip in there on their refrigerator, ideally. They've
Yeah.
got my they've got my postcard in the drawer. And so now all of a sudden I become top of mind, and it sort of has a snowball effect.
And so just to add to that, we do this micro farming strategy where we market the neighborhood when you're getting a listing 2 months before you put that sign up,
Yep.
and you take the people that you're getting that client off the list, but everybody else gets, information about the neighborhood, whatever. And then here's what happens, and you just said it. When your sign goes up, everybody's like street cred, like this guy's the guy. Everybody's using this guy.
Yeah.
Postcards are out. You're sending out your poker chip, your pictures on that, the pictures on the sign. By the time your sign goes up, right? Everyone's like, "Oh, this guy lists and sells everything in here." And when I was selling, I remember everyone thought I was like, because they got so much from me, they were like, "You sell everything in here." And I'm like, "No, I don't actually, but I'm glad you think that because the perception that you're giving is that they are seeing your name over and over and over and over." So, what I'm hearing you say is pick a neighborhood. I always say 400,
Yeah.
400 houses.
So, yeah, the homes should be 5 to 7 years on average old. New construction in Austin, Texas specifically, we are getting sort of, the resellers are getting kind of crushed by the new home builders just because they have deep pockets. So ideally, there's no new construction in your farm. And then
Okay.
pick a farm that you're comfortable with. Stay in your lane. If you're not comfortable listing and selling $2 million homes, I would not suggest trying to farm the gated community on the other side of town. I would suggest farming something that you are more familiar with. Maybe you live in a $400,000 condo. Farm what you know and stay in your lane. And you will be amazed at the results after. And by the way, guys, 12 to 18 months, it goes by real quick. So you're going to be seeing fruit on the vine faster than you know. You've just got to stick with it. I would love to take y'all into the gym next month, and we'll take a look, and then we'll go back in March and take a look at the
Right.
same, the same weight section. This is so easy. It's so easy. And then all year, and I know Sherri can relate to this, people will say, "How are you doing it? How, so many people have left the business, and it seems like you're thriving and really crushing goals." It's just so simple. You've just got to mail out another postcard, and then don't overthink it. So, yeah, there doesn't need to be
Highest.
a roll. Yeah,
Yeah, I love the metaphor. I remember when I got licensed 30 years ago. It's hard to believe it's 30 years, but I remember, "Why is it called farming?" And they said to me, "You're planting seeds." And you gave such a great analogy of yielding the fruits of this labor. This is an easy task. This is consistent. This is building relationships. This is saying, you know what? I'm going first of all, you need business 12 months from now. How about that for a quick rude awakening? Like every one of us needs business 8, 10, 12, 18 months from now. This is a sure way to create business for yourself when you're on vacation and you get that call and someone says, "Hey, we get your mailers." You're gonna love it. I also love the idea of tying it to Facebook. So you have this group, you also farm to it, and then what are you able to put content-wise into that Facebook group? Because I know you don't wanna look, weird, you're a real estate agent, and the people running that Facebook group are, you wanna be respectful of the group, and they're doing garage sales, or maybe they're doing, things that are happening down the street, up the street, whatever, but, like, what kinda content do you put in there, Steve?
I limit the content, and I do that specifically just so I don't frustrate the administrator. If it pertains to homeowners in the neighborhood and I think that there's value that I'm bringing, then I'll post something. And I do it in a neutral way. So there's no
Perfect.
CTA at the end of these posts. There's no call to action. There's nothing that I'm asking for.
Right.
I'm just simply sharing information. So there was a fire station that went in across the street from the entrance to this community. This was literally like 10 or 12 years ago. I went over there with a tripod and I shot this video in front of the fire station. It's literally across the street to the entrance of the neighborhood. I guarantee that all my neighbors were curious about the fire station. They knew that there were going to be EMTs there and there's a helipad and the whole thing. So I did this video that had this incredible response. And we talked about homeowners insurance premiums going down as a result of that fire station. That is absolutely
Oh,
applicable to the homeowners. They
okay.
wanted to know this. Again, making myself a person of interest, which ties into that's me fertilizing the soil now.
Yes.
So then they're like, okay, this Steve guy's the real deal. He's not just mailing postcards to us. He's actually really bringing value. I didn't even think about our homeowners insurance premiums. We also had an event here in Austin we called it Snowpocalypse in 21. And we had, 2 weeks of Colorado kind of weather. I think it was in February of 21. And so as a result of the fire station going in, that community specifically, we are now on an essential grid, which meant that no
Oh,
loss of electricity, no loss of propane, and because of the fire station being across the street. And so I tied all these things together in like a minute and a half video, and the response was
love it.
incredible. And I shared that on the Facebook page, and everybody thought, okay, this is pretty cool. Even if someone doesn't click the like button or they don't comment, you're still staying top of mind. You're leaving an impression with these people. When they're on their way to church and they see your face on that open house sign, it's registering.
Yeah,
So remember, we're playing the long game here, guys. Those people might not be ready to sell or buy now, but you'll be the person that they text or call when they are ready to buy or sell. That's the key.
absolutely. The 100% long game approach, I'm a huge fan of, and that's what I call it as well. So I love that. You have talk real quick for a minute or two about your YouTube. You're creating a YouTube channel just for relocating to Austin or something to that
Yeah.
effect. What's that going to look like, and how can someone start that?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm super, super excited about this. We're going to be launching that channel in 2026, which is coming right up. I think we're about 48 hours away. So big plans for 26. It's called Relocating to Austin. And basically, we are targeting people specifically moving from California. We're going to expand, but I moved here 20 years ago from San Diego. I have lots of friends and family, both of my parents, and then lots of friends who have moved specifically from San Diego County to
Oh,
Austin. And
okay.
so I thought, you know what? I'm going to share the ins and outs of what life in Austin is like. Where do you want to move? What's the average price point? What does it cost to go out to dinner? Where can you see amazing local music? How about the Formula One track? How about the University of Texas Hook 'em
Yep.
Horn? So there's a lot of great information that we're going to be sharing on this YouTube channel. Very, very excited
Oh,
about that.
good.
More to come. Um, so yeah, I'm using some VAs and we're going to get that going in the next couple months.
I love it. I think, that's also really good to put, if you don't have a Facebook group, people search Facebook groups and, it's, relocate if they don't already have one. But you could take that right into Facebook, create a group. We have a client who has 12,000 people, 20,000
Wow.
people in their moving to states,
Yeah.
and it's it works. It really does, in addition to the YouTube. So I love that you're doing all this video. I watch your videos. I think they're amazing. And I think you're just running a phenomenal business. And I love that you just said you've hired some VAs. It is strategy. And I think agents right now, I didn't ask you to talk about this, but if you were going to give advice out right now to a solo agent looking to do something different and grow in 2026, what would be your like 2 or 3 best pieces of advice that you would give to an agent?
Great question. Awesome question. I would make a list, and you can use AI's help if you'd like, of the things that you're passionate about, the things that you're good at, the things that fill your bucket. And I would focus on those things. I wouldn't look at the entire elephant. I would look at the proverbial toe of the elephant. And then I would just focus on those things. If you're good at bringing people together and hosting events, then that would be the first thing that I do. I would host a little event and get people together and let everybody and anybody know that you are a real estate agent. And I would be very, very neon letters, guys. I would be very mindful of what you're allowing in between these ears of yours. You've really got to focus and see in your mind and in your heart the success that is coming your way. Good things are coming. You've just got to surround yourself with the right people who've achieved the goals that you want to achieve. Super, super important. If I can do it, if Sherri can do it, then you can absolutely do it. If I can earn over $100,000 in 30 days and I can show you how, and I'm willing, and you're literally listening to this podcast, then you can do the exact same thing. So in terms of things to focus on in the new year, you want to write your goals down, even if it's just 2 or 3. Literally take a pen out and a piece of paper. I'm not talking about typing. I'm not talking about
Yeah,
texting yourself. Write down your goals, get crystal clear on what it is you want. Put those in your pocket, put them in your purse, put them on your rearview mirror in your car. I'm not kidding. Put them on your mirror in your bathroom and get crystal clear on that vision for yourself and your future and watch what you manifest. It is very, very powerful. I'm living proof of this. So if I can do it, then you can do it too. And if you're feeling a little blue on a particular day, then you need to get on the phone with someone like myself or Sherri, and we'll turn that around.
that's right. And enthusiasm wins every time. I love punching the air. I'm actually going to start saying that now because of you. Like you're literally got me. I you said you're going to be punching the air. It's like, yes, this is what the outcome is. And we have everything we need and mindset and confidence. If you're lacking that right now, look at the people you're spending time with, look at the information you're consuming. Maybe it's your health, maybe you go to bed an hour early, get up an hour earlier. I promise you, we see this all the time. Your mindset dictates everything, and it really is true. You said it. What's between your ears, what you're telling yourself, that self-talk is so important. I've never liked the phrase, "If I think I can or I think I can't, I'm right." I've never liked that phrase. I've never used it. The longer I'm in coaching, the more I actually see that people actually talk themselves out of success, and success isn't just for a few people, it's for everybody and it looks different for a lot of different people. But one thing I want to ask you, I know you just made a switch in your brokerage platform. You moved to the EXP platform. I'd like for our listeners to hear why you made that change. You were at a traditional style brokerage on probably a split with no cap. Can you just talk about a couple of the reasons you made that switch and why you believe in the model and what you think the power of this model is going to bring to your business and to those that you're out serving? Because Steve Robertson, you're like a literally like, I thought I had a lot of energy. I am so pumped up listening to how you talk and how you're infectious. I said it at the beginning. So why did you go to EXP? What were the like reasons? How did you get there? How long have you been there? What are the things you like about EXP and why is this company so agent centric?
Well, one of the things I love is doing a podcast like this with you, who I would have never otherwise met. And so after 20 years with the fill in the blank brokerage here in Austin, Texas, the proverbial sort of mom and pop brokerage, I was shown the EXP model last year in Miami, and my life has been forever changed. I know that probably sounds a little dramatic, but until someone holds your hand literally and walks you into that new room, maybe you're feeling stuck. Maybe you feel like you are just not necessarily getting the tools that are needed for you to go to the next level in your career. Maybe you're consistently a top sales agent and you're breaking records, but you feel kind of unfulfilled and underwhelmed by your particular brokerage. There's another way to do things, guys. There's a whole nother way. And so when I saw the EXP model and all of the tools that not only that we already have, but the things that are being built for us and the way that the leadership at EXP listens to the agents,
Mm,
it took me all of a few days to actually make the decision, and then we just had to map out kind of the transition. And it took me a few months to actually make the move. I did that in
okay.
March of this year. And now I've got ownership in the company that I'm helping to build. I have the opportunity to collaborate and pour into others on calls just like this. I've built a small organization which is growing every week. So that's wonderful. I get to mentor agents. Again, I have ownership in the company. I have revenue sharing in the company, which I never would have had otherwise. I also have a cap with the XP, which is incredible. And to think of the money that I left on the table at the other place where I was working, there was no cap. Every year I would close on average 20 to 30 transactions, and every single transaction I would pay the brokerage, including E&O fees and all these other things, ad tech fees and just all the fees added up. There was certainly no stock, and there was no legacy wealth building. That's for sure, and all that's changed now. And so I just want to shout from the rooftops: at least keep an open mind and consider how your business and your life could change from just hearing about something different, the way that your life could be. There's a reason that we have over, I think it's close to 90,000 agents in over 20 countries all over the world, not just the US. It's very powerful and it's effective, and it's life changing, quite frankly. So
And so one of the things that you mentioned is like a lot of people don't understand the cap. So I describe it as you have a forever split. If you don't have a cap, you have a forever split that is costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally. The forever split means you're on, agents are excited. They're like, I'm at 85. I'm like, but you're doing 25 million and you're paying 15% on the 25 million. They've never done that side of the math equation to realize what the pay in is and really the question mark of what are you paying for? Are you paying for all the massive overhead that brokerage has, especially franchise fees that you're paying? I mean, it really is how real estate can be, should be, and this cap model where you cap it $16,000 and then you're at 100%, Steve, right? You're at 100% for the rest of that calendar year. And in our world, you're also getting the Icon Award, which, if you want to explain that, I mean, EXP pays you back that $16,000 when you Icon. Is that right?
that is correct. I'm real close to iconing too. I've got to look at the math again, but my calendar year starts March 1st, so I've still got 2 months to go. I
Yeah.
will probably be an icon agent my first year at the
Yeah.
company. I don't know how much stock I've already earned just in a matter of 8 or 10 months rather, but I know that it's close to $5,000. None of that would have been happening at the other brokerage, where I was sort of blissfully ignorant. And yeah, iconing means that you get the 16,000 back in the form of stock. It's just mind blowing the differences. Capping, just in general, in 20 years, I had never capped. And so I remember getting my first DA from the transactions folks at EXP, and there was nothing taken out of it. And I thought, in 20 years, I just felt, I feel a little embarrassed that I didn't make a move a
Yeah.
long time ago, to be honest, which,
No, I paid
yeah,
my broker 130 grand
yeah,
a year.
ouch.
No franchise fee, but you know what? And I loved it. I loved where I was. Everyone should love where you're at. I also think you should also at least say to yourself, um, you can have it all. You can have it all. And this is a model that is really, you said 90,000 people. I think it's now 30 countries. Um, it's just getting started, in my opinion. You
Yeah.
didn't mention the tech stack. I know, you get choice of three CRMs. You can, I mean, there's so much technology here. And because of our size and 90,000 agents, everything is so much cheaper. And so an agent, there's no cost. Like you could come here and do what you're doing, which is build something amazing. You mentioned, having ownership and also really the legacy of being able to have generational wealth. I think is one of the biggest things people just don't realize. So you're getting stock on houses you would have sold at that other company. I was the same way. I said, where was this model, even
Yeah.
20 years ago? But it is cool. And I think the other thing I think I want to point out that I think you did highlight is that yes, people come here. They'll come here because they're not happy. I think people come here for the opportunity of what EXP brings, the collaboration and global. You're now global. Like you have people in your organization all over. You can basically create an organization if you want to do revenue share and have people in every state. And I think that's an attractive thing for a lot of folks who get a lot of referrals all over the country as well. So you didn't mention referrals, but I know that my Austin guy is this right here. Sits on my desk because I'm like, this guy made such an impression with your. I know. Look at your stack. Are they now blue?
I have blue, I have black, I have green, and I've changed now so that there's a
Perfect.
QR code, and the QR code goes to my link tree, which
Perfect.
of course can be modified the back. And I think you have a logo on yours. This is the QR code, so this is
I do. Yes.
the
I'll have to
newest
get the new
version.
one.
Happy to share the tips and tricks on this. This one single thing has absolutely changed my business. This is the business card that does not get thrown away. It's magnetic. It goes on your fridge. Best case scenario, it goes in your golf bag, goes in your little change jar where you throw your keys when you come home after a long day. People don't throw this away.
No, they
This is
don't.
a simple little thing. These are about 60 cents each. Happy to share the tip on how I made that happen. You can make the same thing happen in your business.
And how can so we're going to put all of this the plan, the farming strategy to make six figures. We're going to give you that. You're so awesome to give that to everybody who's listening. The blueprint
Yes.
for that. It's an agent blueprint, step by step. Literally,
Yeah.
the playbook that Steve Robertson uses is going to be available to you, and the QR code will make sure that you can connect with Steve. Obviously, you're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn,
Yes.
and are you
At Steve Sells Austin.
all right,
Steve Sells.
perfect. And at Steve Sells Austin on YouTube will be coming out as well. And we're going to be watching you there. And I want to have you back on the show. Will you come back again?
Yes, of course. Are you kidding? Let's do
This
this
was
again in the summertime.
unbelievable. This
Talk
was
about how many.
unbelievable. And listen, you gave away a strategy that earns six figures in less than, if you want, 30 days. So I can't wait to hear from our coaching clients who implement this and use it. And when you come back, we'll share some more stories with you, but we'll have you back talking about all kinds of great things again. And Steve, congratulations. You are just doing all the right things. And I know it's not easy. Like you get up, you said you can wake up and you can implement and execute and go out and make it happen for yourself. And you're doing that. And I've always believed that enthusiasm wins every single day of anything. So if you approach things and attack things like you are, and everybody listening, just like put it on. Do what I call Steve Rob. People say, go do Sherri Johnson. Be Steve Robertson and make it happen. And I'm going to air punch. Somehow we got to do something with that. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen and what's going to evolve from everyone who listened to this to also what's happening in your life. Keep it going. We are big fans of you, and we're going to have you back
No.
on. And everybody, listen, this is the Sherri Johnson podcast show. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Do me a favor, leave a review and pass this on to a friend. Don't forget to get all of Steve's awesome handouts that he's giving us, these free gold things that are like amazing. You're the best, Steve. Thank you again, everybody. Let's roll into the new year with excitement and a plan and a strategy and a better way to do things. We just heard from one of the best in the country. I can't wait to hear from you all. Have a great first of the year, and we'll see you back on the Sherri Johnson Show next time. Thank you. You rock.
Yay.
All right. That was so good. Oh my God. You're like